Welcome back to the broadcast. Our next guest is an accomplished actor featured in CSI New York, I love that show, and Covert Affairs. He's also an accomplished author whose best-selling series, Letters to a Young Brother, has sold countless copies. His latest book is called Letters to an Incarcerated Brother. Please welcome Hill Harper. Good morning, Hill. How are you?
Good morning. Great. Thanks so much.
We're so happy to have you here on the broadcast this morning. I love your books. You are such a phenomenal writer. You've got to tell me about this one and what inspired you to write it.
Yeah, you know what inspired me? You mentioned my first book, Letters to a Young Brother. You know, that book won the American Library Association Award for Best Book for Young Adults. And what happened is that judges across the country, juvenile justice judges, started assigning the book for young people who were being incarcerated to write book reports about as a teaching tool. And the warden started sending me these reports and started sending me letters from the young people. And I started to a letter exchange with a number of people who were incarcerated and as well as in an adult prison. And the more I learned about this issue, the more I learned about our mass incarceration crisis in this country, the more I wanted to do something. And the result is this book, Letters to an Incarcerated Brother, which obviously isn't just written for folks who are in prison, but for people like all of us that will hopefully get inspiration from the letter exchanges that they read, much like a fiction book, but also inspired and learn something at the same time.
I love that. And you have some of those letters in this book, right, which I love. I think that really sort of brings it all home. And then one of the things... I have the actual... Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Letters. I'm just saying I have the actual letters in the book. A number of them, and a number of a lot of information about it. But at the end of the day, many of us are in prisons that aren't made of iron bars that I hope this book will help set free as well. So
it definitely can inspire other people. Now, you know, I heard a statistic a couple years ago that said in Texas, we base a number of prison beds on third-grade standardized test scores. And that just shocked me, it angered me, it saddened me. How have we become a society that's so complacent with our prison system?
Well, where that data point comes from is that all the research shows us that every $1 spent on early childhood education and spent in our public school system, we save about $7 on the back end about not having to lock people up and put them through the extremely expensive criminal justice system. But most of us, you know, we end up with politicians that won't present long-term ideas. It's about getting elected right now. And so we elect politicians that run around saying, I'm tough on crime, where it'd be better to elect politicians that say, I'm smart on crime. You know, if you convict someone who is a non-violent offender for carrying a certain amount of drug paraphernalia, okay? I'm not saying that committing crime is okay. I'm not saying it's positive or good. I think dealing poison in our communities is a horrific thing. But I'd rather rehabilitate you than put you into a prison, throw away the key, give you no skills when you come out, which increases the likelihood of recidivism, and therefore me as the taxpayer, I have to pay for you for the rest of your life to house you. And we can make smarter choices, and that's in part what this book shows us.
Well, I think it's great, and I really appreciate you for everything you're doing. And I'm guessing people can see you here in Dallas next week, right? Tell me about the event you're coming out for.
Yeah. So next Wednesday, we're going to do a community event during the day so folks can come out during their lunch break. It's going to be from 11 to 1 at St. Luke's Community United Methodist Church, and it's going to be a wonderful event. We're going to talk about these issues. I'm going to sign books. And listen, here's the deal. If you can't make it out there, I set up a website called incarceratedbrother.com, where I know during the holidays folks decide who and what they're going to gift to. I hope that you'd think about gifting these books into prison libraries. I list prisons state by state by state. You can go and send the books through Amazon directly into the prison, directly to the warden. I put the warden's name there on the website. So if you can't make it out to St. Luke's and get a hand-signed copy, send a book into a prison and help out, because the one unifying force and the one unifying fact of folks that are in prison beyond race, beyond where you're from, is poverty. We're locking up poor white folks, poor Latino folks, and poor black folks at alarming rates.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it. I'm going to see you next week, okay?
Please come out.
All right, sounds good. And you can pick up a copy of Letters to an Incarcerated Brother wherever you buy your books. We've got a link to the Amazon page on our site for you, so make sure you check it out. Now, did you know that healthy hair starts with your diet? All right, well, stick around and hear about the top 5 superfoods for gorgeous hair.